Imagine two worlds existing side by side, yet separated by an invisible barrier. These worlds are not distant planets or alternate dimensions, but rather different realities experienced by people living on the same Earth. These worlds are not separate planets or dimensions but rather different realities experienced by people living on the same Earth. They are shaped by a myriad of factors, including psychological differences, social constructs, and even physical limitations that create a chasm between individuals. These realities can be divided by psychological differences, social constructs, or even physical limitations. For instance, the way we perceive the world can be influenced by our upbringing, education, and personal experiences, leading to vastly different interpretations of the same events. This essay will explore the concept of these invisible barriers, their impact on individuals and society, and how we can begin to bridge the divide. We will delve into how these barriers are formed, their subtle yet profound effects on our daily lives, and the steps we can take to overcome them. These barriers are often more pervasive than physical walls, as they are intangible and difficult to define. Unlike physical walls that can be seen and touched, invisible barriers are rooted in our minds and societal structures, making them harder to identify and dismantle. They can manifest in countless ways, shaping our perceptions, interactions, and ultimately, our understanding of the world. From the way we communicate with others to the opportunities we have access to, these barriers influence every aspect of our lives. By understanding these barriers, we can begin to dismantle them and create a more inclusive and connected society. It requires a collective effort to recognize and address these invisible divides, fostering empathy and understanding to bridge the gap between our divided worlds. One of the most profound invisible barriers exists within our own minds. These barriers are not physical, yet they can be just as limiting and confining as any wall made of bricks and mortar. Our thoughts, beliefs, and experiences shape our perception of the world, creating invisible walls that separate us from others. These walls are often built over time, layer by layer, as we encounter different situations and form opinions based on our personal experiences. These walls can be built from fear, prejudice, or simply a lack of understanding. Fear of the unknown can lead us to make assumptions about others, while prejudice can cause us to judge people unfairly based on superficial characteristics. For example, someone who has always lived in a homogeneous community may develop unconscious biases towards people from different backgrounds. These biases are often not intentional, but are a result of limited exposure to diversity. These biases, often rooted in fear of the unknown, create an invisible barrier that prevents meaningful connection. When we allow these biases to influence our interactions, we miss out on the richness that comes from engaging with diverse perspectives. Mental illnesses, such as social anxiety or autism, can also create invisible barriers. These conditions can make it difficult for individuals to communicate and connect with others, even when they have a strong desire to do so. Individuals struggling with these conditions may find it challenging to navigate social situations, leading to isolation and misunderstanding. The lack of awareness and empathy from others can exacerbate these feelings, making the invisible walls even more formidable. By recognizing and addressing these barriers, we can begin to dismantle them and foster a more inclusive and understanding society. Section 5. The Impact of Isolation, a World Apart. In this chapter, we delve into the profound effects that isolation can have on both individuals and communities. The consequences of these invisible barriers are far-reaching, impacting individuals and society as a whole. These barriers, though often unseen, create a divide that is deeply felt. Isolation, lack of opportunity, and perpetuation of prejudice are just a few of the damaging effects. When people are cut off from the broader community, they miss out on vital social interactions and opportunities for growth. When individuals or groups are isolated from the mainstream, they are denied the opportunity to share their unique perspectives and contribute to the richness and diversity of human experience. This exclusion not only stifles their potential but also impoverishes the collective cultural and intellectual wealth of society. This isolation can lead to feelings of alienation, resentment, and even despair, fueling social unrest and conflict. The sense of being cut off from the rest of society can be deeply demoralizing, leading to a cycle of negativity that is hard to break. It is crucial to recognize and address these barriers to foster a more inclusive and harmonious world. Section 7. Bridging the Divide. Recognizing the Invisible. Overcoming these invisible barriers requires a conscious effort to recognize their existence and understand their impact. We must be willing to challenge our own biases and assumptions, and to approach others with empathy and an open mind. Education plays a crucial role in breaking down these barriers. By learning about different cultures, perspectives, and experiences, we can begin to dismantle the prejudices and stereotypes that fuel division.
Section 8: Empathy, the key to understanding. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It is the capacity to step into someone else's shoes and see the world through their eyes. This ability is essential for breaking down invisible barriers. By practicing empathy, we can begin to bridge the gap between different worlds. When we make an effort to understand the challenges, perspectives, and aspirations of others, we open ourselves up to new possibilities for connection and collaboration.
Section 9: Breaking down barriers, education and interaction. Education and interaction are powerful tools for dismantling invisible barriers. By promoting diversity in schools, workplaces, and communities, we create opportunities for meaningful interaction and understanding. Exposure to different cultures, perspectives, and ways of life broadens our horizons and challenges our preconceived notions. When we engage with people from different backgrounds, we learn to appreciate our shared humanity and recognize the richness that diversity brings to our lives. Section 10: A World Without Walls, a Vision for the Future. Imagine a world where invisible barriers no longer divide us. A world where individuals are free to reach their full potential, regardless of their background, beliefs, or circumstances. This is the world we must strive to create. By embracing diversity, promoting inclusion, and fostering empathy, we can dismantle the invisible walls that separate us and build a future where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Section 11: The Unseen Bridge. A final thought. Invisible barriers are a pervasive force in our world, but they are not insurmountable. By acknowledging their existence, understanding their impact, and actively working to dismantle them, we can create a more just, equitable, and interconnected society. Let us strive to build bridges of understanding and empathy, connecting the seemingly disparate worlds that make up our human family.